Part 24. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 235. Wang Xianjiao and the others. The one with the highest cultivation level is Wang Xianjiao himself, who is only at the first level of Yunhai realm. Those other people are only at the level of unity. In front of Shangguan Shishi, the saint of the purple palace in the fifth heaven of Yunhai realm, there is no resistance at all. Even when Shangguan Shishi took action, Wang Xianjiao and others were rapidly moving their true energy to resist. However, under the magical suppression of the flying royal city, he could not even borrow the power of the avenue, let alone support the domain. Soon, Shangguan Shishi's rime palm shadow completely enveloped several people. Don't kill me. I was wrong, girl, spare your life. A group of people were instantly frightened, crying and begging for mercy. Shangguan Shishi smiled coldly, and the shadow of De Yun's palm pinched Wang Xianjiao and several others together as if kneading dough. Only the woman among them, also it was the spiritual crystal Saint Zhou Xiaoun, who was left outside. Aren't you going to kill someone? Why are you still playing? Qin Changsheng couldn't help but wonder when he saw those people squeezed together by everyone, but they were not dead. Wang Xianjiao and others, at this time, some heads were crowded together, and some heads and feet were squeezed together. And some were stuffed between other people's legs. It was as ugly as it was, and as uncomfortable as it was. But what made them happy was that at least they were not dead yet. They were thinking that these guys still had some sense of proportion. Dare not kill people at will. Hearing Qin Changshen's words, he was instantly frightened. Young master, girl, please spare your life. We have the eyes but cannot see Mount Tai. We don't know that the young master is a hermit and an expert. I have offended you a lot, please forgive me. Yes, brother, I, Wang Xianjiao, hereby promise that if you let me go, I will definitely make amends. The voices of several people came from the meatball, but some people were squeezed in the middle of the meatball, and the sounds they made were very strange. Qin Changsheng ignored them and just looked at Shangguan Shishi. Of course I want to kill these guys directly. However, I can't ruin the young master's important event. Let's first find out from these people where the saints from various holy places are in Fei Yangqing City. Once the young master has snatched up all the saints in Fei Yangqing City, it won't be too late to deal with these little bastards. Shangguan Shishi chuckled. Wang Xianjiao and others in the meatball were still holding out hope at first. Now, after hearing the conversation between Qin Changsheng and Shangguan Shishi, everyone was even more confused. Fei Yang Wang Cheng. The major saints? Take them as little maids? What on earth are these people doing? Are they crazy? But at this moment, the other girls around Qin Changsheng spoke again. Young master, I should know almost where my disciple Fei Saintess is, and I can take young master there when the time comes. But can the young master be more considerate? Let me persuade you first. Believe me, Master Zhou, if I speak, she will definitely agree to follow the young master and be a little maid. And my disciple, Saint Tianyan, master, please let me persuade you first. She is my little niece, she will definitely listen to me as my aunt. The saints of our holy land of cultivation of hearts can also persuade us with the words of our hearts, so don't worry, young master. After Wang Xianjiao and others heard the words of Fei Holy Master Xiaofi Fei and others, they suddenly became quiet. They felt that their brains couldn't turn around. There was something wrong with the conversation between these people. That woman in colorful rosy clothes claimed that Saint Fei was her disciple? And the one holding a jade flute said that Saint Tianyan was her nephew. There was also one who claimed to be Xinu, who claimed to be able to the saint who persuaded the heart-nurturing saint to be this guy's little maid. Are you crazy? Are we crazy, or are they crazy? Ah, I recognize you. You, you, you are the holy master of Fi'u Holy Land, Senior Sci-fi. At this moment, Josiaun, the only spiritual realm saint who was not trapped in the mass of flesh, suddenly pointed at Fi'u Holy Master Sci-fi and said in a sweet voice, with a look of horror and astonishment on her pretty face. Color. What? She is the holy master of Fi'u Holy Land, Sci-fi. In the meatball, Wang Xianjiao and another young man also exclaimed in unison. But this is not over yet. The spiritual crystal saint looked at Lin Miaoyan, the lord of Tianyan again. The ant who holds the jade flute and breeds Saint Tianyan, you are Lin Miaoyan, the master of Saint Tianyan. And you, Xinyu, Wen Xinyu? The grand elder of the Holy Land of Health Cultivation is known as one of the most talented people in the Holy Land of Cultivation of the Heart for thousands of years. It was only because you didn't want to be the saint of cultivation of the heart that you took on the title of Grand Elder. Spirit Crystal Saint Josiaun, as she spoke, her whole delicate body could not help but tremble. Then she looked at the Yaokai Saint. Although she did not know the Yaokai Saint, but, the identities of the previous ones, were enough to scare her to the point of explosion. The last identity was definitely more terrifying than those ones. Holy Lord Fi'u, Holy Lord Tianyan, and the Great Elder of the Holy Land of Cultivation of Heart. How is it possible? This is absolutely impossible. Who is he? How could it be possible that these people were following me, and they were still serving as little maids? I just focused on that man, and the veiled woman. Now after taking a look, I found that what the Holy Sister said was right. Those people are really Fi'u Holy Master Xiaofei, Tianyan Holy Master Lin Miaoyan, and the Great Elder of the Holy Land of Cultivation of Heart, Wen Xinyu. Wang Xianjiao and others were extremely horrified at first and couldn't believe it. It wasn't until the Holy Son of Spiritual Crystal who also came from the East confirmed it that they had to believe everything they heard. Then, everyone just felt my soul sea is surging like huge waves. It's so humming scary. This guy's little maid, is actually these people? The last one, the veiled one, Yun, who is the little girl in the middle of the sea realm. Who is this boy? Who is he? Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 236. This brother. Wang, I really know I was wrong. Although I don't know the identity of my brother yet, the existence of several holy masters can call themselves slaves, I am really willing to be defeated. Wang Xianjiao, the arrogant prince just now, is really scared now. It's impossible not to be scared. Although this guy is young, the little maid next to him, is actually one of the holy lords of Fi'u Holy Land. Lu. These are all king-level powerhouses in the Yunhai realm. Even within their own families, king-level powerhouses are worshipped in the name of worship. This guy is good, a little maid came directly. The key is, these holy lords, great elders and so on, just seem to be like slaves, feeding him food and drink, otherwise I wouldn't be so greedy just now. After all, each of these women are born with national beauty. The heavenly fragrance can overwhelm a country or a city. Just now Wang Xianjiao was thinking, this little guy's little maid has an extraordinary temperament. Now he suddenly realizes, can the temperament be ordinary? They are all the sect masters of the major sects' holy places. And what frightened them the most was naturally the last one, the veiled young woman. The temperament of this girl was more transcendent than those of the sect masters, and her cultivation was in the middle stage of the Yunhai realm. In Fi'iyang King City, they are all very powerful beings. Yes, this young master, our young master Wang, likes to make friends the most. Today is a misunderstanding. Let's get over it. Let's drink and talk happily and forget our grudges with a smile. Yes, it's all a misunderstanding, it's all a misunderstanding. Several other people in the meatball also hurriedly spoke to help. However, Qin Changshen did not pay attention to them at all. With a wave of his hand, the spiritual crystal Saint Zhou Xiaoyun was directly thrown into the Linglong immortal mansion by Qin Changshen. Time and space solidified, and the system's information quickly appeared in Qin Changshen's mind. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Master for successfully plundering the holy spiritual crystal Saint Zhou Xiaoyun. The rewards are being calculated. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, the spiritual crystal Saint Zhou Xiaoyun, whose realm is the 5th level of the Unity realm, and after 10 times the gain, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, the spiritual crystal Saint Zhou Xiaoyun has an innate spiritual cloud body. After gaining 10 times, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, the spiritual crystal Saint Zhou Xiaoyun has the bloodline of the 9-star Lingyun bird. After 10 times the gain, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Master, the combat skills of the spiritual crystal Saint Zhou Xiaoyun are the 5th grade profound level combat skills and Lingyun Zhenfa, perfection. 6th level Xian level combat skill, Snow Wind Sword Tai, perfection. A 7th grade Xian level combat skill, the spirit cloud can travel thousands of miles, peak. After 10 times the gain, give back to the Holy Lord. A mysterious feeling circulated throughout his body, and Qin Changshen could clearly feel that his cultivation seemed to have improved again. Holy Master, Qin Changshen. Age, 19. Physique, innate ice spirit flame holy body, mutated. Bloodline of the raging sky dragon king, rich. The realm of Taoism, the way of the piano, the way of enlightenment and becoming a saint, the way of the sword, the way of enlightenment and becoming a saint, the way of fire, the way of enlightenment and becoming a saint. The way of formation, enlightenment and becoming a saint. Cultivation realm, Yunhai realm, 4th level of heaven, 4th grade martial king. Skill, king level 1st grade alchemy. King level 1st level Taoist magic. Combat skill, 8th grade Xian level combat skill Dragon Power 9 Heavens Body Technique, perfection. The 8th grade Xian level combat skill Sword Immortal Arrival, perfection. 9th grade Xian level combat skill Hand of the God of Fire, perfection. After taking a look at his latest attributes, Qin Changshen was very satisfied. Sure enough, as he had just expected, after plundering this spiritual crystal saint, Qin Changshen's cultivation level got closer to the next level. Combat skills have also been greatly improved. The bloodline direction has also been improved a bit, but it's still unclear how much the effect has been improved. The most important thing is that this is the first one. Qin Changshen was extremely excited when he thought that there were many such Saintess experience packs in Fei Yangqing City. After taking them all down, what attributes and realm will I achieve? Qin Changshen was delighted here, enjoying the pleasure of gaining experience. When Wang Xianjiao and others in the meatball saw him grabbing the spiritual crystal saint, they were in confusion again. The spiritual crystal saint, whose cultivation level is at the 5th level of the Unity realm, was so easily taken down by someone. It can be seen that that guy must be at the Yunhai realm. They're really going crazy. Where did this monster come from? Such a young Yunhai realm. Not to mention the pretentious Wang Xianjiao, even Fei Yang Wangqing's well-deserved proud daughter of heaven, Fei Yang Saint, is probably not that young. But why, have you and others never heard of such a young evildoer? Otherwise, even if you give yourself 10 courages, you won't dare to provoke him. But what makes everyone collapse even more is what's behind. Not long after, the spiritual crystal saint was released again, and at the same time, there were 2 other women, 2 first-class beauties. One of them had a cute ponytail and was wearing a pink palace dress. The other was wearing a black gauze skirt, with skin as white as jade. Those long legs seemed to be the most unique gift from the Creator. They were thin, long, white, straight, and tender. They were simply beautiful to the extreme. Wang Xianjiao and others, now because they are squeezed together, the angle is very weird and they are looking upside down. But even so, they are still shocked by the appearance of these two stunning beauties, and their hearts are constantly fluctuating. This guy, why are there two such stunning little maids by his side? But at this time, the spiritual crystal saint spoke again. You actually ransacked all the major sects along the way and robbed 20 or 30 saints from the sects' holy places. And my spiritual crystal holy land, you were also destroyed. These few words from the spiritual realm saint, caused Wang Xianjiao and others who were already collapsed to collapse again. Ransacked all the way? And robbed dozens of saints? The holy land of spiritual crystal, but also kill this guy? Junior sister, you, don't talk nonsense, how is that possible? In my spiritual crystal holy land, but my father, the holy master of the spiritual realm, is at home. In the meatball, the holy son of spiritual crystal heard this and almost said in disbelief. Yes, it's true. I met more than 20 women in his little world. Each one of them was a beautiful girl with extraordinary talents. Among them were Han Jiaran, the saint of Qianzhen demon sect, and Xian Dan, Holy Land Saint Lu Yan Ran. In addition, many of the treasures of our spiritual crystal holy land are also in his small world, including the Holy Lord's natal magic weapon. As soon as the spiritual crystal saint said these words, everyone around fell silent instantly. Puff. The holy son of spiritual crystal spurted out a mouthful of blood, which hit Wang Xianjiao's face. However, everyone is being squeezed together at this moment, he can't hide even if he wants to. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 237. Impossible, impossible, nothing will happen to my spiritual holy land, no. After the holy son of spiritual crystal spit out a mouthful of blood, his entire face was ashen, but he still murmured to himself. But others knew it very well, including the holy son of spiritual crystal himself. Even the magic weapon of his life had been stolen. He was robbed, the spiritual crystal holy master is definitely finished, and the spiritual crystal holy land should no longer exist. In other words, what this guy robbed all the way must be true. No wonder, so many sect masters and the holy master have become his little maids. Thinking of this, everyone really doesn't know whether this guy is crazy, or whether he and others are crazy. And the crazier one is naturally being sprayed. Wang Xianjiao's face was full of blood. All kinds of emotions were flooding in his heart now, including shock, confusion, and deep fear. But before he could say anything else, Qin Changshen waved his hand and directly pushed Wang Xianjiao away. The meatballs squeezed by others were received in the Zhangkong ring. Places like Linglong Immortal Mansion, these people are not qualified to enter, so they can only feel aggrieved in the Zhangkong ring. Although the Zhangkong ring is also possible, it is used to store living beings, but there is no aura inside, and the space is dark and narrow. In addition, a few people were protected by Shangguan Shishi's circular chi barrier, and the packages were squeezed together into a ball. So after throwing them in, all kinds of things were rolling around in the Zhangkong ring, shaking everyone until they were dizzy and confused. Later, some people even vomited. Naturally, they all vomited. The people around me are so miserable. Qin Changshen ignored the meatballs of Wang Xianjiao and others. After throwing them into the Zhangkong ring, he looked at the spiritual crystal saint at the scene. Now, what is your identity and what should you call me, is it clear? Qin Changshen said directly. I, am, is, young master, clear. The spiritual crystal saint said in a panic. After seeing so many scenes, of course she was still in chaos, but, how could she dare to disobey Qin Changshen's wishes? She bowed slightly and saluted, calling young master. Well, that's pretty much it. Qin Changsheng smiled and said nothing. Yaokai Saint Chang Guan Shishi and other girls couldn't help but roll their eyes. It can be expected, another saint will be harmed by this guy. Bang bang bang. Just when Qin Changsheng was about to ask the spiritual crystal saint how many saints from other sects' holy lands were here in Fei Yangqing City and where they were. Suddenly there was a crashing sound on the wall. What's going on next door? What's the fuss about? I am here to entertain the Holy Son and Holy Lady of Yuntian Holy Land. If you make any more humming noise, I will kill you. A rough voice came from next door. Many ancient buildings in Fei Yang Royal City are made of extremely hard stones, the same is true for Piaoxiang Pavilion. Although the battle just left no trace, but it was inevitably spread, so, someone couldn't sit still next door and shouted. Of course, the people next door must have just arrived. They didn't hear the conversation here. Otherwise, I'm afraid they didn't dare to shout like that. And it was precisely because of their voices that Qin Changshen became interested in the people next door to them. Banquet, the Holy Son and Holy Lady of Yuntian Holy Land? Isn't this another experience package? Delivered to your door? Let's go next door and have a look. Qin Changshen waved his hand directly. Yaokai Saint and others were speechless again. This bad guy's eyes lit up as soon as he heard the word saint. And the new spiritual crystal saint, she continued to look confused. She still hadn't figured out what happened before. Why did she feel this man was going to cause some trouble again? Sure enough, the person next door had just arrived. And it must have been not long after we entered, the door has not been closed and the food has not been served yet. Qin Changsheng strode straight in and saw the only woman in the entire private room at a glance. It was a girl wearing a white gauze skirt, with delicate features and an elegant complexion. Name, Li Huamei. Physique, innate Yungzhen hegemony. Bloodline, 9th grade Black Jade Beast bloodline. Realm, 4th level of Unity realm. Combat skill, 5th grade Xian level combat skill Nebula 10,000 miles movement technique, peak. The 6th grade Xian level combat skill sword technique of Rumang entering a dream, perfection. The 7th grade Xian level combat skill the art of no thought between the eyebrows, perfection. Sure enough, it is none other than Yuntian Saint Li Huamei. I think back in Yuntian Holy Land, Qin Changshen waited for many days but never saw this girl. Today he finally found her. Who are you? What are you doing here in our private room? Looking for death. Besides Saint Yuntian, there are 4 or 5 young talents. Although one of them looks young, his hair is very thick, like a big chimpanzee. When he saw Qin Changshen, he shouted angrily. Listen to the voice, just now he should be the one smashing the wall and cursing. It's okay, I'm next door. I heard that Saint Yuntian is here, so I came over to take a look. Qin Changsheng said with a chuckle. Look. What to watch? Can you watch the Saint of Clouds? Get out of here, The hairy young man was cursing, but stopped suddenly. Because behind Qin Changshen, Shang Guan Shishi, Lu Ruyan, Amo Ran and others, also walked in one after another. At this moment, the eyes of these men suddenly became straight. Although beside them, there was also a beautiful and fragrant saintess from the sky. But there is no comparison between one and several beauties with different styles and all very charming. Especially Shang Guan Shishi and Amo Ran. Although one is wearing a veil, her temperament is extremely aloof, like a goddess from the 9 heavens, making people look like they are worshipping her at a glance. Another black gauze skirt swings in the wind, and a pair of super long legs are so bright that they don't blind everyone's eyes. And just when everyone, including Shang Guanshishi and the other girls, were stunned and at a loss, Qin Changsheng had already walked in front of Yuntian Saint Li Huamei. With a wave of his hand, Yuntian Saint Li Huamei was thrown into the Linglong immortal mansion by Qin Changsheng without any resistance. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 238. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, you successfully plundered Yuntian Saint Li Huamei, and the rewards are being calculated. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, the Holy Lady Li Huamei of the Cloud Sky has reached the 4th level of the Unity Realm. After 10 times the gain, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, the Holy Lady of the Clouds, Li Huamei, has the innate Yungzhen hegemony. After 10 times the gain, give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, Saint Lady Li Huamei of Yuntian, possessing the bloodline of the 9-star and 9-rank Black Jade Beast. After 10 times the gain, give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Master, the combat skills of the Holy Lady Li Huamei of Yuntian are the 5th grade Xian level combat skill Nebula 10,000 miles movement technique, peak. The 6th grade Xian level combat skill sword technique of Rumang entering a dream, perfection. The 7th grade Xian level combat skill the art of no thought between the eyebrows, perfection. After 10 times the gain, give back to the Holy Lord. As Yuntian Saint Li Huamei was forcibly sent to Linglong Immortal Mansion by Qin Changsheng, the system prompt information in his mind appeared again. At the same time, time and space froze, and in Qin Changsheng's body, all kinds of true energy and Taoist charms began to flow and rise crazily. The only pity is, this time the Saint of Clouds is only at the 4th level of the Unity Realm, and Qin Changsheng is already at the 4th level of the Yunhai Realm. Even after 10 times the gain, Qin Changsheng cannot advance to the 4th level again. However, Qin Changsheng is not in a hurry. Even if he has not advanced, the experience bar should be almost there, just a little bit short. Besides, there should be at least a dozen such saints in the entire Fei Yang King city. After I robbed them all, I could almost reach the level of the 8th and 9th heavens of the Yunhai realm. When the time comes, even if he faces Fei Yang Martial King Ye Fei Yang, he will still have the strength to fight. If he robs Fei Yang Saint Girl, he will go one step further. Boy, what are you doing? Where is the Saint of Yuntian? You, where did your kid take Saint Lady of the Sky? Boy, hand over my junior sister Huamei quickly, or I will rip your skin off. Everyone who was stunned by the girls Shang Guanshishi and Mo Ran finally came to their senses and shouted angrily at Qin Changsheng. He, don't be anxious. Your saint, will be my young master's little maid from now on. It's his honor. Before Qin Changsheng could speak, Shang Guanshishi had already said something with a smile. Little maid? Several people were stunned when they heard this. Be bold. That's so arrogant. Do you know who the Holy Lady Yuntian is, and how dare you let her be a maid? You guys who came from that remote place, how dare you be so unruly in Fei Yang King City, without even asking where this is this the place where you run wild? Several people said angrily. Fei Yang Guangqinj, we really don't know much about it. By the way, do you know that there is a Wang family in Fei Yang Royal City? The eldest son of the Wang family seems to be named Ye Zionjiao. Lu Ruyan, who was on the side, also said something. Mr. Wang. We naturally know that those are the 4 8th level martial arts of Fei Yang King City. The family's young master Zhang, our young master and young master Wang have a pretty good relationship. That's right, although our Mr. Zhou is not a member of the 4 major families, his ancestor, Mr. Zhou, is also a 7th grade martial king. Do you know Mr. Wang Zionjiao? But even if you know him, you can't blaspheme Saint Yuntian. Let's do this, Please release Saint Yuntian quickly, for the sake of young Master Wang, we won't argue with you. When a group of people heard Wang Xianjiao's name, their expressions changed slightly. After all, as Mr. Zhang of the four major families in Feiyang Royal City, Wang Xianjiao's reputation is quite big. They all thought that Qin Changsheng and others had some friendship with Wang Xianjiao and were prepared to give Wang Xianjiao some face. He said this. However, Shang Guanshishi and others couldn't help but laugh when they heard these people's words. How much face should you give Wang Xianjiao? It seems, your status is not as good as that of Wang Xianjiao. But just in time, just go and get close to Wang Xianjiao. Shang Guanshishi said with a sweet smile. When everyone heard this, their expressions froze again, and they felt that their minds were a little hard to turn around. But at this moment, Shang Guanshishi had already taken action. The principles of the Tao around them seemed to be a thread. A long flying dragon flowed out and turned into a huge spiritual cloud palm print. Ah, the power of the avenue, how is it possible? You are in the Yunhai realm, and you are in the late stage of the Yunhai realm. How is it possible? I have never seen such a young Yunhai realm in Feiyang King City. Sage Yuntian and the hairy young Master Zhou were all shocked and couldn't believe it. However, these people are not even in the Yunhai realm, and the highest level is only the 9th level of the Unity realm. In the face of Shang Guanshishi's coercion, let alone resistance, it was difficult to mobilize his own true energy. There is no suspense, these people were also squeezed into a ball by Shang Guanshishi. Puff puff. Hesitating that the cultivation of these people was really much different from Shang Guanshishi. Under this squeeze, 2 or 3 people vomited blood, and all over the people around them. However, they no longer care about this. They were squeezed into a ball of flesh, and were soon thrown into the Zhangkong ring, and started rolling around in a mess. And rolling, they suddenly discovered that there was actually a meatball in this space. Wang Xianjiao, Prince Wang. When they saw that one of the people in the other meatball was the embarrassed Wang Xianjiao, these people were simply crazy. Just now, they were supposed to ask whether those guys knew Wang Xianjiao and were ready to give him to him. Wang Xianjiao has some face. Who would have thought? This Wang Xianjiao, like himself and others, was squeezed into a ball of flesh and thrown here. Then, everyone started to communicate. When they figured out who Qin Changsheng after the origin of the story and the identities of the women around them. This weak young master, Yuntian Zhenzi, and others collapsed even more. But, what made them collapse even more was still behind. The 2 meatballs were rolling and rolling, suddenly coming from the opposite direction. Boom! The 2 balls of flesh collided fiercely. Various screams rang out one after another in the Zhangkong ring. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 239. Vomit. In the hidden sky ring, under the constant collision of 2 meatballs, I don't know who could not help but vomited out first. I am usually a pampered young man, how have I ever experienced such disgust? Who is it? Vomited on me. Too disgusting. Vomit. Leave far away. I want to leave too, but I can't. The dirt spreads evenly as the meatball rolls. Outside the Zhangkong ring, Qin Changsheng has released the Saint of Yuntian. The Saint of Yuntian is wearing a white dress and looks very restrained. She was brainwashed by the seniors in Linglong Immortal Mansion, and she spoke to Qin Changsheng carefully. Are you here to attend the marriage recruitment meeting too? Saint Girl Yuntian shook her head and replied seriously, the Holy Master has no idea of marriage, he just wants us to participate in the discussion and increase our knowledge. Qin Changsheng did not comment on this. The king-level power of the 9th level of Yunhai realm is a height that many cultivators cannot reach in their lifetime. Being able to have a relationship with such a powerful person, the Sex Holy Master naturally desires it. Yuntian Saint Li Huamei, must be the candidate for the Taoist companion left by Holy Lord Yuntian to his son. Even if he really had the idea of getting married, he would not inform Li Huamei. Otherwise, if the marriage fails, the default daughter-in-law may not be retained. I see. You also have to practice hard, and if you need any heavenly materials or earthly treasures, just go get them directly. Qin Changshen's words made Li Huamei excited, and her bright eyes were full of colors. Even if she is a saint, the resources she uses are very limited. Thinking of the treasures piled up in Linglong Immortal Mansion. I am happy on the first day with the young master. Qin Changshen directly entered the Zhangkong ring and looked at the two lumps, speechless. He used his palm prints from the air to throw them into the water, and then the restriction was released. Big brother, young master. I, Wang Xianjiao, will follow you loyally from now on. Please, don't imprison me with them. The others stared angrily. What do you mean? Dislike us? Didn't you vomit just now? Qin Changsheng frowned and waved his hand to drive away the smell in the surrounding air, give you a chance to make a difference. Like a cat smelling fish, everyone stared at Qin Changsheng. You can't afford to offend this god of death, you must behave well. Even if others look down on us, we must try our best to compare with others. If you want to do it, be the number one younger brother. Qin Changsheng didn't know what was going on in their hearts, so he asked calmly, why did Fei Yang Saint suddenly ask for a bride? The people in front of him were the direct descendants of the four major families in Fei Yang city, and they were among the most holy sons of the Holy Land. As for the inside story, they may know a thing or two. Moreover, Qin Changsheng had another idea in his mind. Under the eyes of the most powerful man in the 9th level of Yunhai realm, he kidnapped all the saints who came to Fei Yang royal city. It's exciting just thinking about it. Wang Xianjiao was the first to answer. I heard that there is something wrong with the bloodline of Fei Yang Saint, and her master can't help. The uninformed person took a breath. As a cultivator, physique and bloodline are the foundation of cultivation. You can be ordinary or even have low understanding. As the saying goes, hard work can make up for weakness. As long as you have a firm heart, you may be able to step into the great road. But if there is something wrong with the physique and bloodline, at least there will be no hope of promotion, or at worst the foundation will be damaged and you will become a useless person. Holy Son Yuntian answered in time, that's true. My father asked me to bring the holy medicine this time, hoping it can be helpful. Qin Changsheng was thoughtful. He knew that the problem with the flying saint was definitely more than that simple. The human and financial resources of Fei Yang Royal City are definitely not comparable to those of a small place like the Eastern Barren Continent. If you need holy medicine or a doctor, you can just post a reward. There is no need to spend your life as an apprentice. Wang Xianjiao suddenly said, Sir, I can arrange an identity for you to enter the marriage recruitment meeting. I can also compile a list of saints entering the city through family connections for your convenience. Qin Changsheng couldn't help but glance at Wang Xianjiao. After all, he is the grandson of Wang Xianjiao. When he calms down, his mind will be faster. You follow me. Qin Changsheng took Wang Xianjiao away, and before leaving, he compressed the others into a flesh ball and kicked them away. You messed with me first and couldn't help me, so you should be punished. Wang Xianjiao almost knelt down as he watched. How cruel. This is a big devil. Shang Guan Shishi was worried about Wang Xianjiao's loyalty, so she set a soul-destroying mark in his soul sea and followed him to Wang's house. When he came back, he brought a jade tablet. An identity jade tablet. It registered Qin Changsheng as a first-grade king-level alchemist. Shang Guan Shishi explained with a smile, I discussed it with that dude. Alchemists are rare. He is the target of the major Holy Land organization's efforts to win over. The young master can act cheaply, and when they come up with tricks, take them home. After talking, Wang Xianjiao came in and held a book in his hands. What is registered here is the information of the 22 saints who came to discuss Taoism and seek marriage. Saintess of Netherworld Ghost Sect, Lingmei, 5th level of Unity Realm. Murong Yan, the Saint of Woksuan Holy Land, 6th level of Unity Realm. Saintess of Jujian Hall, He Kingruo, 6th level of Unity Realm. Qin Changsheng looked at the large and small experience packages and sighed, it's still a bit lacking. Wang Xianjiao has never had an idol, but at this moment, he has one. Look at this person's pursuit, it's not enough to accept 22 beauties at once. In such a life, what more can I ask for? The more Wang Xianjiao thought about it, the more he felt that Qin Changsheng was inspiring. He thought for a while and said, "Sir, you are a role model for our generation. I will go back right now and find a way to spread the news and attract some sects to come over." Qin Changsheng patted him on the shoulder. To show encouragement, he also warned, "I am only interested in saints. Please inquire before inviting, a sect without a saint is worthless." Qin Changsheng asked Shang Guan to write poems, took all the little maids into Linglong Immortal Mansion to practice. He went to the street alone, intending to kill some time. It is impossible to practice cultivation. Funny. As long as he sits still, he will receive 10 times the feedback on his cultivation. It is impossible to practice cultivation in this life. At this moment, Qin Changsheng suddenly felt a vague aura appearing around him. The breath kept a fixed distance from him, following him like a shadow. When you are in trouble, the merchants you pass by, even if they are traffickers and lackeys, may be cultivators. A little leaked spiritual energy is perfectly normal. Qin Changsheng immediately sensed that the aura was very weak. If it weren't for the strange coldness in the aura, even Qin would have difficulty detecting it. Qin Changsheng didn't care and continued walking leisurely. His consciousness contains the knowledge gained after systematic promotion, as well as the knowledge gifted by the saints after inheriting the orthodoxy. It can be said that Qin Changsheng is a walking encyclopedia. This is Nether Puppet. Is someone staring at me? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 240. Qin Changsheng flicked his fingers, and a purple thunder shot out, hitting the nether puppet directly. The power of thunder is the nemesis of all dark creatures. Even if Qin Changsheng controlled the power, the nether puppet still turned into flying smoke immediately. So you can't help but fight. Qin Changsheng shook his head and muttered to himself with a little regret. Tisk tisk, he was still thinking about following the next ban. What Qin Changsheng didn't know was that there was a beautiful figure not far behind him. Hearing this, his body froze. What a pervert! The power of thunder is indeed not very powerful, but the essence of thunder contained in it is extremely pure. It is the first pure thing she has encountered in her life. With such a strong power, she thought that the nether puppet was wearing a battle armor and was crossing tribulation. It's so annoying. When Jianying was still debating whether to seek compensation from Qin Changsheng's slightly smiling face suddenly magnified in front of her eyes, startling her. How long do you plan to stay with me? Qin Changsheng said with an evil smile. When he discovered the nether puppet, he checked the surrounding aura. The girl's aura was consistent with the residue on the nether puppet. The answer is self-evident. The nether puppet is the symbol of the nether ghost sect. The level of the destroyed puppet is not low, and its refining requires a lot of materials and treasures, which is definitely not something that ordinary gang members can make. Even the core disciples can hardly get such treatment. Jianying was not nervous when she saw that she was caught. After thinking about it, he spoke. I am being abrupt. I am Lingmei from the Netherworld Ghost section. I heard that you are an alchemist from afar, so I took the liberty to get acquainted with you. Ling Meter. It sounds a bit familiar. Isn't she the saintess of the Netherworld ghost sect? If you dare to try on me, I won't be polite. Ling Meter's information was instantly displayed in front of Qin Changshen's eyes. Name, Ling Meter. Physique, innate spiritual heart hegemonic body. Bloodline, 8th grade Fenjian beast bloodline. Realm, Unity realm 5th heaven. Combat skills, 5th grade Xian level combat skill mysterious shadow body technique, peak. 6th grade Xian the 1st level combat skill 1 leaf blind eye art, perfect. The 7th level Xian level combat skill 10,000 ghosts return technique, perfect. Not bad, not bad. It's a big experience package. Qin Changshen doesn't plan to throw people into Linglong Immortal Mansion on the street, it would be bad if someone saw him. He was never afraid of things, he was just afraid of trouble. If the story of abducting the saint was spread in Fei Yangqing City, it would be inconvenient for the saint to be hidden. Thinking of this, Qin Changshen said he put on a deep face and said in a deep voice, my identity seems to have never been revealed to anyone, how did you learn about it? Have you not revealed it before? The identity has just been made, and it's still warm. The saint of Netherworld has long expected Qin Changshen to ask this question, and the answer is already familiar to her. The king-level alchemy master is rare, what do you think? There are people who pay attention everywhere they go. Most people have to be fooled by this flattery. The moment the two talked, many passers-by were attracted. Qin Changshen is with many saints every day, and his eyes are very bright. Even so, Qin Changshen also had to admit that Ling Meter was a great beauty. She wore a lake blue dress and showed off her slender figure. Not to mention other people. A pair of eyes that she wished she could grow on Ling Meter. Just in front of everyone the vinegar turned into essence, and when the cabbage was sour that the pigs could no longer bear it, Qin Changshen said, in that case, let's go to the Piaoxiang pavilion in front to discuss it in detail. That's a serious restaurant, so you don't want to take any chances on me. Are you talking immorally to a beautiful woman? Are you afraid of being influenced by others? Go away. Let us come. Feel free to influence us. The Netherworld saint's expression was also stagnant. Poof. Not only was Ling Meter not angry, she actually laughed out loud. This Qin Changshen is really interesting. Okay, let's talk in detail in private. In this way, the two of them entered the private room under the complicated gazes of everyone. The onlookers around them sighed. It is unseemly to enter a confined space like the private room when you open your mouth. Grand Master. Qin Changshen didn't give Ling Meter a chance to speak at all. He just waved and threw her into the Linglong Immortal Mansion, leaving Ling Meter stunned. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, you successfully plundered the Nether Saint Maiden Ling Meter, and the rewards are being calculated. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, the Holy Maiden of the Netherworld, Ling Meter, has reached the 5th level of the Unity realm. After 10 times the gain, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, the Netherworld Saint Ling Meter has an innate spiritual cloud body. After gaining 10 times, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, the Netherworld Saint Ling Meter has the bloodline of the 8th grade Fenjian beast. After 10 times the gain, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, the combat skills of Netherworld Saint Ling Meter are the 5th grade Xian level combat skill mysterious shadow body technique, peak. The 6th grade Xian level combat skill 1 leaf blind eye technique, perfection. The 7th grade Xian level combat skill the return of 10,000 ghosts, perfection. After 10 times the gain, give back to the Holy Lord. Feel the surging and growing spiritual power in your body, endless energy filling your body's blood vessels, it's so comfortable that you want to look up to the sky and howl. Qin Changshen took a look at his cultivation level and found that he had been steadily promoted and officially became a master of the 5th level of Yunhai realm, that is, the 5th level of king level. There are so many talented people in Fei Yang Wangcheng, and even the 5th rank kings are rare, and they are all very old guys. There is no one in the 5th level of Yunhai realm who is 19 years old in all time. He summoned Ling Mir casually. Ling Mir was stunned for a long time, and now she was full of things to say, but she was stunned when she saw Qin Changshen. Why does it feel like this guy's momentum has become stronger in such a short period of time? Qin Changshen was the first to break the silence and asked who revealed my identity. Ling Mir subconsciously replied, we have puppets in the royal city who specialize in collecting information. After saying this, she herself felt strange, since when did you become so obedient? Just answering questions is not the style of the Nether Saint. But I don't know why, everything was different when I saw Qin Changshen. Qin Changshen was not surprised and said calmly, from now on, you will be my maid. If you have any questions, you can ask the other sisters. Use the resources in Linglong Immortal Mansion at will, choose some techniques that suit you, and improve your strength as soon as possible. It is best to go directly into the Ling Lake to absorb the spiritual energy for better results. The words made Ling Mir feel a little dazed. Where is the maid you agreed on? Why does it feel like you have recognized a master? No. Her master has never been so generous. The saint is one of the best talents in a million. She is a good one. The sect has a good reputation, but its resources are invested in the direct saint's son. The saint girl is not much higher than the senior disciples. Most of them have to be appointed as the saint's son and future Taoist companions. Thinking about it this way, Netherworld Saint the girl suddenly felt that she was lucky to be such a little maid. Yes. Meeting such a master seemed pretty good, right? Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 241. Qin Changshen himself did not expect that Ling Mir could understand current affairs in this way. Getting into character is very fast. The two of them walked out of Biaoxiang Pavilion one after another, which aroused another round of glances. The spectators were very heartbroken. Why did our beautiful lady turn out to be so well behaved and shy in such a short time after entering? Isn't it said that Biaoxiang Pavilion is a serious restaurant? Huh, dirty. I can't stay any longer. Some diners who originally planned to enter Biaoxiang building left angrily, leaving only the ignorant waiters messing around at the door. Qin Changshen took Ling Mir back to his residence. Seeing her looking at his room, he asked, do you like my room? Ling Mir waved her hand with a smile, only by knowing the master's hobbies can I repay you better. Qin Changshen was too lazy to understand the gleam in Ling Mir's eyes, but he didn't expect to see two beauties in white palace clothes walking into the room in the blink of an eye. She grasped her slender waist and bowed respectfully to him. I've seen you, master. I'll serve you. Qin Changshen stretched out his hand to cover his eyes, feeling helpless in his heart. He shouted angrily, Ling Mir, stop. The next moment, the two beauties in the room had disappeared. Ling Mir looked frustrated and said, I saw in the news that the puppet got that you like to rob holy places and saints. I guess you must like beauties. Qin Changshen was completely speechless. You are so stupid. It doesn't matter whether I like beauties or not, but your illusion is useless to me. It looks so fake, it's like a 50-cent special effect. Just as he was thinking about how to explain it tactfully, he heard Ling Mir speak. So you don't love beauty, but the identity of a saintly man, right? Qin Changshen was completely sure this time, she was not just a fool, he is still a fool who loves to make up his mind. Fortunately, at this time, Shangguan Shishi came out after finishing her training. After hearing Qin Changshen's description, she burst out laughing, this girl is quite interesting, leave it to me. The two talked in detail for a while, and Shangguan Shishi. Finally, we know that Ling Mier's character has been cultivated by the Netherworld Ghost sect for a long time, and it is also related to her ability to arrange and use Netherworld puppets. No matter how high the level of the puppet is, its wisdom is limited. Ling Mier has no one to guide her, so she naturally develops the habit of brainstorming. Sister Mier has a keen intuition and is a good spy for information. It will be great if you train her. Listening to Shangguan Shishi's serious summary, Qin Changsheng squinted his eyes. If such a woman were placed in his previous life, she would have been a prosperous female CEO. After some teachings, Ling Mier knew that she would be wrong. She understood and came over to apologize to Qin Changsheng. In order to express her apology, she said, "I have a very good relationship with He Qingruo, the saint of Zhejian Hall, so I will ask her out now. I think there is a set of divine sword combat skills that perfectly suits her." Qin Changsheng and Shangguan Shishi looked at each other. Are they looking for a maid for themselves, or are they offering exercises to their friends? However, the upgrade of the saint girl will give back 10 times, so why do you think it's all you who make the profit? Qin Changsheng brought his 2 daughters with him. Went to Piaoxiang Pavilion. Along the way, Ling Mier habitually used puppets to collect various information. Sister Qingruo will bring his senior brother with her. Then I will find a way to let him leave and create opportunities for the young master. Just as he walked to the door, Ling Mier suddenly looked angry, pointed at the window of the private room upstairs and said, "Damn it, how dare you arrange it here, sir? I think your whole family is a fake alchemist, out to die." After saying that, the man flew into the air, smashed the window and rushed in. The sound of banging was heard, and the guests of Piaoxiang Pavilion gathered around. The woman in blue also has a hot temper and will start fighting if she disagrees. It seems that someone is pretending to be an alchemist. Who can not be angry about such a big crime? Listening to the situation, Qin Changsheng walked in with Shangguan Shishi. The box was already in a mess, and the tables, chairs, and decorations were shattered on the floor. Ling Mier was holding a Kaipan listening fan in his hand, and the netherworld energy was surging around his body. He was obviously beaten. Really popular. Qingruo, I will tear his mouth apart today. Your senior brother cannot insult the young master either. He Qingruo was surprised when he saw that Ling Mier was not even willing to give her own face. Ling Mier has a straightforward personality, but she has never seen her so protective of a man. As soon as he raised his head, He Qingruo's eyes met Qin, who walked in. Changsheng collided with each other. His sword-shaped eyebrows and starry eyes were clear, and he really looked good. Especially the aura around him was calm and long, but he couldn't see through him. He Qingruo's eyes were sharp, and he looked at Qin Changsheng with a trace of inquiry. What kind of cultivation is this person? She cooperates with the sword intention, and even the first level of Yunhai realm can see it clearly. Qin Changsheng received He Qingruo's information immediately. Name, He Qingruo. Physique, Xiantian Sword Heart Overlord Body. Bloodline, 9th grade Wind Dragon Bloodline. Realm, Unity Realm 5th Heaven. Combat Skill, 5th grade Xian Level Combat Skill Sword Shadow Hidden Wind Body Technique, Peak. 6th grade Xian Level Combat Skill Beiming Holy Sword Judgment, Perfection. The 7th grade Xian Level Combat Skill 1000 Miles Chasing Wind Sword, Perfection. Sword Intent, Xiaochang. Qin Changsheng was surprised to meet an experience package that cultivated sword intent. He was already using the sword to the posture of a proclaimed saint, is at the forefront of the road of swordsmanship. Muran looked back and saw 1 or 2 juniors who were quite up to par. That's how it felt. And Qin Changsheng was a little looking forward to it. After the saint, again what height? Zhang Qing, the man who was with Ling Mier, didn't speak until he saw He Qingruo and Qin Changsheng looking at each other for a long time. An unknown anger ignited. Why? The saint has never looked at herself, but staring at another man. Haha, is this the alchemist himself? He looks young, is he really at the level of a king? Don't just come here to cheat while the royal city is busy. Please be careful, it is not easy for anyone to obtain spiritual stones. Jiang Qing snorted coldly, and opened his mouth to smear Qin Changsheng. He saw many people standing outside the door. If he said Qin Changsheng was a liar, it would definitely resonate with those people. A spitting mouthful of saliva will drown you. Even if you can't drown, Saint Qingruo, who has eyes above her head, must look down on you. Who would have thought that the scene effect would not be explosive? The imaginary ridicule and ridicule, none of them came. Everyone just took a breath. It turned out that there were still whispers. The people are now completely quiet. The merchants present are not fools. Qin Changsheng is indeed young and does not look like a first-grade king-level alchemist. But there must be a fourth-level king-level alchemist behind him. Otherwise, who would dare to boast like this? Marginal expert. Look at his magnanimity, could he be immortal? Besides, who is an alchemist? He heals the sick. If you offend them, will you rely on yourself to heal your injuries in the future? Ling Mi heard Jiang Qing and dared to insult the young master. The murderous look in his eyes almost overflowed. Today, you must die. Jiang Qing did not want to offend Ling Mi, nor did he want to fight with a woman in public. He looked at Qin Changsheng again and said provocatively, do you dare to stand up and say that you are a first-level alchemist of the king's level? Humph, what kind of man is he who always stands behind a woman? Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 242. Presumptuous. Just when everyone was stunned, a loud shout suddenly came. Immediately after, the sky turned dark, and a huge palm print containing Taoist rhyme was photographed with a heaven-destroying aura. Jiang Qing had no idea at all. Thinking that Shang Guan Shishi actually dared to attack him, completely disregarding his status as the senior brother of the giant sword sect, he was so shocked that he quickly tried to put up a protective shield to resist. But the next second, he was surprised to find that the whole body of his body was covered with blood. The breath was locked tightly by this terrifying breath, unable to move at all. No. Facing the huge handprint that fell, Jiang Qing let out a desperate scream with unwilling eyes. Boom. After a loud noise, Jiang Qing, who was still arrogant before, had turned into a pile of meat at this moment. Shang Guan Shishi floated down and shouted loudly with the horrified eyes of the people he faced. Those who questioned the young master. Die. As the last word death was spoken, a more terrifying aura swept across the entire place. The few people with weaker skills at the front were so frightened by this aura that they sat down on the ground. In full view of everyone next, De Yun's aura was overwhelming, and it was released without any scruples. How many years has it been in Fei Yangking City to see such a fierce aura released? Tao, the aura of Tao Yun, could it be that this is the power of Yunhai realm? That's right. To be able to perform it so casually under restrictions must have some midterm cultivation. If you heard me right, the Yunhai realm great master just called that man young master? That. Thinking of this, no one dared to continue thinking about it, and their eyes looking at Qin Changsheng became extremely horrified. Almost everyone present had only one thought in their minds, and that was to get out of this place quickly. Joke. Kill a master of Unity Realm with one palm. Do they dare to provoke such a fierce person? Shang Guan Shishi is very satisfied with their emotional changes. Recently, there have been a lot of people who dare to provoke the young master. Do you really take these people seriously? Then we have to kill the chicken and show it to the monkeys, so that they can remember it. Qin Changsheng didn't care about other people's speculations, and just told Ling Mi calmly, if you want to kill people in the future, be decisive. It's not good to scare the children by shouting. Everyone looked at Ling Mi numbly. He looked like he was being taught with an open mind, and his three views were about to collapse. Is this what a normal master should say? It's easy to scare children by yelling, but wouldn't it scare them by killing someone? Be more decisive. I just mean to kill them directly. Educate your subordinates like this, don't all those trained become murderers. The boss of the crazy demon. The people present silently remembered the demon. Oh no, the face of this great young master. When he returns, he must remind all his relatives not to provoke him. Shangguan Shishi asked people to clean the private room, and glanced at the frightened onlookers outside the door. You are not leaving yet, do you want to stay and eat together? The onlookers were trembling with fear, their minds were blank, and they relied on their instinct to survive. Run outside. Those left behind vaguely heard a girl's regretful voice before the door closed. Who told us, young master, to keep a low profile, otherwise? Is this how low-key you are? If it was high profile and the terror hadn't appeared yet, would they kill all the people on the street and clear the place? Devil, run away. He Kingruo felt only heavy at this time. I heard Ling Mir say before that she wanted to introduce a first-grade king-level alchemist to her. Not only her, but the master himself was also very happy. But after this quick meeting, all the senior brothers got involved. He Kingruo just wanted to leave quickly. If we bring such a great god back, with the master's straight temper and a bunch of stubborn juniors, maybe the sect will be taken away directly. That, Sister Mir, I suddenly remembered that I still have something to do. After making up a reason, He Kingruo wanted to run away. Naturally, Qin Changsheng couldn't let her go, so he grabbed her and threw her into the Linglong Immortal Mansion. He also sent Ling Mir in. There was plenty of time for the two sisters to explain clearly in that space. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Master, you succeeded in plundering the Saint He Kingruo of the Giant Sword section. The rewards are being calculated. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, He Kingruo, the Saint of the Giant Sword sect, has reached the 5th level of the Unity Realm. After gaining 10 times, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, He Kingruo, the Saint of the Giant Sword sect, has an innate sword heart and a domineering body. After 10 times the gain, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, He Kingruo, the Saint of the Giant Sword sect, possesses the bloodline of the 9th grade Wind Dragon. After 10 times the gain, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Master, the combat skills of the Saint He Kingruo of the Giant Sword sect are the 5th grade Xian level combat skills Sword Shadow Hidden Wind Body Technique, Peak. The 6th grade Xian level combat skill Beiming Holy Swordju, Perfect. The 7th grade Profound level combat skill 1000 Miles Chasing Wind Sword, Perfection. Sword Intent, Small Success, after 10 times the gain, give back to the Holy Lord. A mysterious feeling filled the whole body, and energy poured into the sea like a wave and gradually subsided. Qin Changsheng felt the fruits of victory and felt happy. Although there is no direct improvement, this is only the second one, just take your time. In Linglong Immortal Mansion, Ling Mir took He Kingruo to her room. Will you explain to me? Before she finished speaking, Ling Mir thrust several books of exercises into her arms and motioned for her to open them and take a look. He Kingruo didn't know why, so she lowered her head and looked. The 8th grade Profound Battle Skill 100 Refinements of Wind Slashing Sword Technique made her heart beat violently. This was the 8th grade Profound Battle Skill she had dreamed of. The sword technique, when used in conjunction with her sword intention, can gain several times the bonus. It suits her so well. Open the second book again, the 8th level Profound level combat skill Huiwen Xianglong sword technique or the 8th level Profound level. Or sword art. You must know that the Zhejian sect has a 1000-year inheritance and only has one 8th grade Xian level combat skill. Moreover, it is an untransmitted secret skill that only the sect leader can learn. There are already 2 books. The 8th grade Xian level combat skill Xian Feng Run Li Shen Fa is such a high level secret skill. When you learn it and face the enemy, your chances of winning suddenly become much greater. Especially the attribute bonus between 8th grade Xian level combat skills is unparalleled. This is true, and it also makes practitioners flock to it. He Qingruo was speechless after reading it. They are all at the 8th level profound level, and they all have 8th level combat skills that are suitable for me. So much, where did you get it? How much? Ling Mir blinked and gave up. She took He Qingruo directly to the warehouse, bypassing the top-grade spiritual stones randomly placed on the floor. Many of the fairy grass and elixirs in the warehouse were rumored to be top-grade. The fairy fruit is also randomly stuffed in the corner. Going further inside, there are many isolated small rooms. Opening one of them, the area is not large, about 40 or 50 square meters, and it is densely packed with bookshelves. If you like it, sister, just choose among these combat skills. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I Robbed Millions of Saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 243. After He Qingruo witnessed Linghu's tyranny, he began to formally practice in seclusion. Qin Changsheng is naturally willing to see them struggle. Your efforts and my arrogance are so flattering. Sipping the spiritual tea and enjoying Ammo Ran's massage service, my heart began to itch again. Although such a peaceful life is good, how can young people settle for pleasure? Besides, there is no excitement like robbing and plundering the saint. However, what Qin Changsheng didn't know was that rumors about him were already flying all over Feiyang City. Yesterday, the spectators who left Biaoxiang Pavilion panicked and told their relatives and friends what they had seen and heard. They must not provoke the murderous god. As a result, word of mouth spreads, the cradle of rumors. All the sects and sects are urgently seeking information about him. What? King Dan's apprentice is looking for a Taoist companion in the royal city. The young man was dissatisfied with the strong Taoist companion given to him by his master, so he came out to seek true love on his own. He is already a king-level alchemist, and Wang Xianjiao, the grandson of the royal family, personally applied for his identity jade medal. Absolutely true. Now that most of the forces have received the news, they may be about to take action. Old people with surly personalities are not easy to deal with, but young people who are impulsive are easier to deal with. The sects in Feiyang King City rummaged through the treasure house, just to find a secret treasure that they could get their hands on. The forces who came from other continents to participate in the discussion of Tao and marriage, began to clean up the major auction houses, just to find a treasure. The purpose of the treasure is very simple, to build relationships with the treasure, and then find a way to give him the entire Taoist companion. That is a king-level alchemist, who can refine pills with the power of Tao Yun. With one pill, it is possible to perfect a person in the Unity realm. The cultivator is in the Yunhai realm. How many masters can such an elixir bring to the sect? As long as the strength is there, the materials, spiritual stones, and secret treasures are not all there. For the first time, the major forces have reached a consensus that such a person it's best to stay in your own holy land, but the worst is to keep people nearby. Other forces have the right to purchase elixirs. In the small courtyard where Qin Changsheng lived, Ling Mi hurried in. Young master, something big happened. Ammo Ran took out his weapon directly, with coldness in his eyes, and walked straight into the courtyard, but someone is coming to cause trouble. Ling Mi hurriedly stopped Ammo Ran, who complained about his integrity, and explained, no, it's the saints from the sects of the major holy lands who came here with the fairy grass and fairy fruit. The nether puppet kept sending messages back to Ling Mi. The holy sons were almost at the door. Sir, do you see me? Qin Changsheng laughed loudly. There are always surprises when he is away from home. Usually he takes the initiative to rob. Now someone takes the initiative to bring something to the door. How can he not see such an interesting thing? If you don't see anyone, you have to accept the gift. Yes. People come to you with treasures enthusiastically, wouldn't it be unkind to refuse to accept them? Is Mr. Chang Sheng here? Thousand Machine Poison Sect is here to pay homage. Qin Changsheng stood up after hearing this, and after giving Ling Mei'er a few words, the onlookers who left Piaoxiang Pavilion yesterday panicked and told their relatives and friends what they had seen and heard, and they must not provoke the murderous god. As a result, he said, according to legend, it is the cradle of rumors. When I walked out and stepped into the courtyard, I saw a lot of people standing inside, carrying large and small gift boxes. Not only that, but there was also a long queue in silence. When I saw him coming out, I was delighted. In a flash, he looked cautious and polite again. The first person in the queue was a man wearing a moon-white robe. He clasped his fists and said loudly, "Tang Xiao, Qinji Poison Sect, has met young Master Chang Sheng." Qin Changsheng thought, and the information of the man in front of him has been sent to him. Name, Tang Xiao. Position, Holy Son of Thousand Machines Poison Sect. Cultivation, 6th Heaven of Unity Realm. Physique, innate spiritual heart hegemonic body. Bloodline, 8th grade Fire Dragon bloodline. Hey, the Holy Son really has arrived. Next to Tang Xiao stood a young man, who knelt down on the ground and saluted, and politely presented a storage box carved with dragons and phoenixes with both hands. Amo Ran went over to put away the gift box, and the man in white robe stepped aside with the servant. The purple-robed man at the back hurriedly stepped forward with a deep voice, which was like thunder rolling in the sky. Young Master Chang Sheng, I am Yun Fenqi from Ziyunlei section. This is the holy grass of wind and thunder that I got by chance a few days ago. It's really a waste of money in my hands. The young master and I hit it off. I would like to give it to someone who is destined to do so. Sir, I am. Everyone presented the gift boxes one after another and did not leave. It was not until the last person finished bowing that they all bowed their hands and said goodbye. It seems like they are supervising each other, for fear that others will do something unexpected. Amo Ran, follow up and take a look at the situation. After Qin Changsheng finished speaking, he entered the Linglong Immortal Mansion and watched silently. After leaving the confines of the small courtyard, some of the saints couldn't help but speak. Yun Fenqi, you are so thick-skinned. Who doesn't know that the holy grass of wind and thunder was taken by your father and left to you? Got it by chance? Tisk tisk tisk. Isn't it the same for you? Is the treasure house at home all rummaged through? It's a pity that it's not as valuable as my sacred grass. If it is more expensive, the space storage ball I gave you is the only one. What is money? What we send is affection. Everyone is just pretending, half-assed. The saints happily exposed each other's shortcomings, and Lu Ruyan was speechless. These people collectively sent over all the fairy grass they collected. Why? Ling Mei'er walked in at this time. She looked excited. Said, I heard about it. After that, he quickly recounted the rumors in the city. The saints were speechless for a while. Especially Shang Guan Shishi, who stood up for the young master, and turned out to be a female master who could not be loved. How sad. Lu Ruyan found it funny. For some reason he felt a little sad again. So, these holy places are going to hold a blind date conference for bad guys. Qin Changshen's eyes flashed, and the thoughtful idea came to him as soon as he said it. Amo Ran, go send a message to today's saints and say that I want to entertain them at Piaoxiang Tower tomorrow. Just say that I love liveliness by nature and let them bring some peers with them. With such an obvious hint, if the saints didn't know enough to send the saint, don't blame him for being rude. The girl's eyes would roll to the sky. How could this man be so bad? This is the treasure saint, the rhythm of grabbing both women without letting go. Amoran snorted coldly and asked in a low voice, what if the saint sons really bear the pain and give up their love and send the saint girl? Do you want to fight this calamity? Qin Changsheng raised his sword eyebrows. What are you talking about? Can we do what we do and love what we do? We must have the most basic professional ethics, okay? As soon as the marriage discussing meeting ended, we grabbed them one by one. As for handing over the saint, we all have insiders on hand. If we don't use such a good resource, wouldn't it be a waste of resources? Grab it all, cleanly. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 244. Chapter 244. I'm here to deliver the invitation. Qin Changsheng dictated it, and Amoran wrote it down word for word, and then made many copies of the invitation. Send it in person. Yunfengqi returned to the station. Xiunlei sect is not near the royal city, but it has a lot of business dealings with the royal city. The city lord specially approved the construction of the station here. When the elders of the station saw him, they immediately greeted him. How about it? Has Mr. Changsheng seen you? Did I tell you anything? Yunfen nodded from the starting point and told everything about what happened in Qin Changsheng's small courtyard. The elder listened thoughtfully and said in a deep voice, it seems that the legend is true. King Dan is always a guest wherever he goes. Seeing it wouldn't be strange if people came to visit. This elder may never have thought in this life that even if you bring the entire sex magic resources one by one, he will still take them all according to the order. Not only that, even if it is not good, he will dislike you and not let him do it. A little unhappy. The elder recognized Qin Changsheng's identity as a king-level alchemist and told Yunfengqi to find ways to keep Qin Changsheng. Even if we pay any price, as long as this alchemist is here, we will only earn back exponentially. Make great contributions to the sect, and your position as sect leader will be more stable in the future. While the two were talking, they heard a disciple in the sect call out, "Elder, something happened." Two women appeared above the station. Disciples rushed to catch them. Some of them made rude remarks and were beaten to death. The elder was furious. At the moment of his rage, purple thunder suddenly appeared on his hair and beard, and said, "How can this be unreasonable? Wait until I go out to deal with them. Xiunlei Sect's station is in the middle of the sky. How can we allow others to stay at will? This is trying to slap my station in the face." When Yunfengqi heard the disciples' report, he thought and quickly caught up with the elder. "I'll go with you. Xiunlei sect is a sect that has been passed down for thousands of years. Even in the royal city, the gate of the station is towering, with a height of hundreds of battles. In fact, when the station was first established, the gate was only a few dozen feet high. It was the elders at the back who built it up little by little. There is no other reason, but the elders feel that it is closer to the sky and can absorb the power of thunder faster. And the gate looks tall and majestic. It seems that the sect also has face, doesn't it? As expected, two women stopped above the station formation. One was wearing a white skirt and the other was wearing a black skirt. Both were wearing veils, but they couldn't resist the shocking colors. After seeing the two figures clearly, the fiery elder saw the hair on his beard. The thunder was stunned for a moment. It was so beautiful. Yunfengqi had seen the fairy in a white dress in the courtyard today. He was the first to retract his gaze, walked to the elder and reminded, "Don't be reckless, these are the two, what a master." The elder was immediately stunned. Such immortal beauties have their own merits, only Fei Yang Saint can compete with them for the glory of the day. Shangguan Shishi saw the person coming below, and the invitation was like a stream of light from her hand, excited. "Shoot out. It's the power of the Great Road, get out of the way." The elder's face changed in shock, and he immediately put up a defensive shield to cover all the disciples. He only has the cultivation level of the 9th level of the Unity realm, and he doesn't dare to accept the invitation. The resident protection formation has been activated, and the Taoist text has been lit up. The power of the avenue can be easily withstood. What no one expected is, under the gaze of everyone, the invitation broke from the corner and plunged into the crack of the stone. Elder. His face turned white and blue, and it took him a long time to recover from the shock. He looked at the empty sky and murmured, there must be a formation master among the two women, so they can find me in a very short time. Weaknesses of the station protection array. The person they want to plot against, is the master of such a master. The elder is a little shaken in his heart. This is seeking skin from a tiger, and it is extremely dangerous. Yun Fengqi felt that the elder was too unfounded. No matter how powerful his subordinates were, his master was still a fool. Nothing to worry about. Yun Fengqi jumped up and pulled out the invitation from the crack in the stone, revealing the red letter inside. Tomorrow at noon at Piaoxiang Tower, we will host a banquet for the Holy Son of Ziyunlei sect, Yun Feng. You can bring a few friends with you to the banquet. Qin Chang Sheng, Yun. Fengqi laughed loudly, his voice like rolling thunder, and said jokingly, look, this young master still wants to entertain, how deep can the city be? The elder, who was originally in a bad mood, gradually became more relaxed. Qin Changsheng invited you to the banquet. It seems that the gift of the sacred grass is not a waste. He asked you to bring a few friends with you. Could it be that, he only entertained you? No matter what, bring the saint and the two chosen female disciples with you. Yun Fengqi heard that the saint was a little hesitant, and the elder angrily said, you are confused. It's just a woman. From now on, we will become the #1 resident. What kind of Taoist monks can't be found? It really doesn't matter if you lose a woman, but what Yun Fengqi is worried about is, my father didn't come to Feiyang Royal City, I'm afraid the saint wouldn't listen. Of course the leader of the Ziyunlei sect will not come to Feiyang King City in person. Not only him, but also other sect saints. This is like an unspoken rule. If adults participate in a child's game, it is a violation. It's not that there is no power behind him, but he is backed by the Demon King Alchemy. Alchemists are indeed rare, but they will not cause trouble for the sect easily. The elder laughed, and his hoarse voice sounded like a ghost. For the sake of the sect's 10,000, a big plan for the year, sacrificing a saint. Worth. Yun Fengqi and the elder walked outside the thunder pool in the back mountain and shouted inside, holy girl, Fengqi is here, please come out and see her. What's the matter? There was a trace of displeasure in the magnetic voice. Before the voice fell, a girl wearing a purple skirt came out. She was tall and her skin was so white that it seemed to glow. It was the holy girl of Ziyun, Chen Ziyan. She raised her eyes and looked over. A pair of eyes flashed purple, as if thousands of thunders were fired, deafening and enlightening. Yun Feng looked away with a guilty conscience. After all, he was the Taoist companion he once preferred, but now he has to transfer it to someone else. I feel a little reluctant to let it go. He looked at the rocks on one side. Determined not to see her, and at the same time Yu said, I hope you come with me to see Mr. Changsheng tomorrow. Then. The elder was impatient and couldn't stand the way the Holy Son was whining. He grabbed the words and directly explained his purpose. The Holy Son is thin-skinned and some words are hard to say, so let me, an old man, say it for him. Tomorrow you will not only go to see Mr. Changsheng, but you will also find ways to make him accept you. No matter if you are a Taoist couple, or even if you are a slave. You have to be there too.